Today we are going to learn how to write the prime factorization of a monomial. So that's a lot of fancy words, but I'll lead you through it. First of all, see if you can answer these questions. What is a factor? What is the difference between a prime and a composite number? Hit pause, see if you remember what those different words mean, and hit play when you are ready. Please have your packet open to page 1, and let's start taking some notes. So a prime number is a whole number that is greater than 1 and has exactly 2 whole factors, 1 and itself. So an example of a prime number would be the number 3. 3 only has 2 factors. What is a factor? A factor is a number that divides evenly into another number. So, for instance, some factors of 10 would be like 1 and 10, because 1 times 10 is 10, 2 and 5, because 2 times 5 is 10, and those numbers would go evenly into 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5, it goes evenly, there's no remainder. 10 divided by 5 is 2, it goes evenly, there's no remainder. So that's what factors are, and prime numbers only have as factors 1 and themselves. 3 is only 1 times 3. There's no other numbers that when we multiply them give us the number 3. A composite number is all of the other numbers, like 10 that I wrote up above. Okay? Some other prime numbers would be 5, 7, 11, 13, etc. If you think about those numbers, all those numbers only have 1 in themselves that will divide evenly into them. They have no other factors. We look at composite numbers. You have the number 10, which is like 1 and 10, 2 and 5. The number 12 has a lot of different factors. It has 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So it's got 6 different factors. Let me just list these out so you can kind of see what I mean. So again, factors are numbers that divide evenly into other numbers. Prime numbers only have 1 in themselves as a factor, and composite numbers have more than 1 in themselves as a factor. One other note, the number 1 is neither prime nor composite. Okay, so that's kind of a trick. 1 is neither prime nor composite. A chart of all the different prime numbers is posted on our Schoology page under the Unit 8 folder for you to look at. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's start working on really understanding what factors are. Let's write all the factors of the number 30. So you can hit pause and then hit play when you're ready. You could have 1 times 30. You could have 2 times 15. You could have 3 times 10. And you could have 5 times 6. And I think that would be it. All of those are factors of 30. Now hit pause and you try the next 2. Alright, I'm back. Let's see how you did on these 2 problems here. 45 is 1 and 45. 3 and 15. 5 and 9. 87 is a little tricky. The number 3 actually goes into 87. You might have thought it was prime, but 3 times 29 gives you 87. Alright, what I'd like you to do now is to take a minute and see if you could fill out this chart. You're going to take the numbers that are listed and list any factors that you could remember, and then tell me if the numbers are prime or composite. Again, remember factors are any 2 numbers that when you multiply them, they'll give you the number. It's only going to be a prime number if the only factors are the number 1 and the number itself. So see what you can do with this chart. Hit pause and hit play when you are ready. Alright, this is what you should have gotten. You can check to see if you came up with all the different factors. So 3 of them were composite and 3 of them were prime. At the bottom of page 1 in your packet, there's a chart that you can fill out where you can circle if numbers are prime or composite. I've also posted a chart on Schoology in the Unit 8 folder that you could pull up to help you complete this. Another thing that you could use is the poster that's at the front of the room. So if you would just hit pause, complete your chart. So if you have a good list of all the numbers under 60 that you know are prime numbers, and then we'll move on. Hit play when you are ready. All right. At the top of page 2 are the definitions of things that we're going to be working on today. We're going to work on finding something called the prime factorization of a number. That is when you write a number as a product of prime number or prime factors. That's called writing its prime factorization. The word product here means that we're going to be writing it as a bunch of things multiplied together, a bunch of prime numbers multiplied together. And we're going to use a diagram called a factor tree to help us write the prime factorization of a number. So continuing on page 2, let's look at writing the prime factorization of 630. One thing I want you to know is that no matter which way you start your factor tree, you will always end up with the same answer. So if we look at the number 630, let's say that someone saw that they knew that the number 30 went into 630. So to make our factor tree, what we do is we write the factors that multiply together to give us 630. So someone started this one off and they said, well, it could be 30 times 21. I know that's 630. What we're going to do is we're going to keep going with our tree and keep making branches until we have a list that's only prime numbers that are left. So I know 30 is made up of 3 times 10. 3 goes into that 10 times. 3 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it and I stop with that. 21 is made up of 3 times 7. Those are both prime numbers, so I'm going to circle them. Once we circle them, we're done with that part of the tree, and we need to keep going with the other numbers. Can you think of any two numbers when you multiply them together they give you 10? You should have come up with 2 times 5. Those are both prime numbers. I'm going to circle them. I'm done. So I have a list of prime numbers now for the number 630. Let's see if I'll get exactly the same list. If I put these together in order from least to greatest, I have 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7. Let's see if I get the same list if I start my factor tree off a different way. Let's say that someone saw 630. They knew that 10 went into it, and 10 went into it 63 times. So they started their tree with 63 times 10. Can you think of any numbers that go into 63? How about 7 times 9? 7 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. 9 is not, so I'll leave it and continue with 9. 10, we know from previously doing this, is 2 times 5. Those are both prime, so I circle them, and I'm done with that part of my tree. I have to keep going with 9. What two numbers multiply together give me 9? Well, that would be 3 times 3. Those are both prime, so I circle them. If I write them in order from least to greatest, I have 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7. Notice that's exactly what we got over here, even though we did it using a different method. So it doesn't matter as long as you come up with any two numbers that multiply together that give you the number, you will always end up getting the same answer. So my final answer can be written like this: 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7. Or when you work on IXL, they will want you to take anything that repeats like this 3 times 3 and make it 3 squared, and then times 5 times 7. I would prefer that you just keep it expanded, like my first one. And so that is the prime factorization of 630. You could put this in your calculator quickly to check to see that you did it correctly. Now I'd like you to try some of these to see what you can do. If you're completely stuck, then just watch me work another example. Remember that if only the number 1 and itself go into a number, then it's a prime number and that you can stop and you don't have to do the factor tree. Alright, hit pause and hit play when you are ready, or if you are still confused. Alright, I'll explain one more here. The number 32, I know it's even, so if you don't know what goes into 32, you could always do the number 2 if it's an even number. 2 times 16 gives me 32. Now I ask myself, are either of those numbers prime? If so, I want to circle them. 2 is prime, so I circle it. 16 is not, so I need to keep going with my tree. Well, 16 is 2 times 8. 2 is prime, I circle it. 8 is not, I keep going. 8 is 2 times 4. Again, circle the 2, keep going on the 4. Finally, 4 is 2 times 2. So the prime factorization of 32 would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I've got 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to write down all of the ones that we have circled. And then when you get to IXL, they'll want you to write it like this, 2 to the 5th power. But this is how I would prefer you leave it. The number 59 is actually prime. It's only 1 in 59. So the prime factorization is just 1 times 59. I'm done. The number 180 is pretty large. And if you don't have any idea what goes into it, you could always start with 2. But let's say someone saw that 9 goes into it, or maybe 10 even. 10 times 18. No matter which way you start, you'll get the same answer. 10 is 2 times 5. 18 is 2 times 9. Remember, the 2's and 5's are prime, so we circle them. 9 is not. I keep going. 9 is 3 times 3. Now I have all prime numbers. So my answer is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. All the circled numbers make up the prime factorization. Again, I would recommend you putting it in your calculator to check it. And again, remember on IXL, they will want you to write it like this. 2 squared times 3 squared times 5, because there are 2 2's, 2 3's, and 1 5. Now turn to the top of page 3. So now we're going to apply this idea even to algebra. We're going to use a fancy word for it. Today we're going to factor monomials. Remember the prefix mono means 1. And so we're going to look at algebraic expressions that are considered to have one term. In this list below, again this is on page 3, there are some different numbers. I want you to sort them into the monomial column or the not monomial column. And let me explain what a monomial is and not a monomial. I'm just going to abbreviate. So monomials are considered one term, which means they don't have adding or subtracting signs in them. So the 3 things that are monomials in the list below would be the 7x, the 25mn squared, and the 24y cubed z squared. You can write them in your chart. The things that are not monomials will have adding or subtracting signs separating the terms. So this is not one, this is not one, and this is not one. And again, you can write those in your chart. So monomials are considered one term, and the things will all be multiplied together, not added or subtracted. Writing the prime factorization of a monomial is actually pretty simple if you know how to do the prime factorization of a regular number. On page 3, here's my first example. First of all, you just want to take the number 28 and do your factor tree and write the prime factorization like normal. So let's see. I know 28 is 4 times 7. If you didn't see that and you did 2 times 14, you will still get the same answer. 4 is 2 times 2. Now that I have 2 prime numbers, I can stop. 7 is a prime number, so I can stop. So the prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 7. So what do we do with these letters? Well, all we're going to do is expand them. I have 1x, so I write that down once. Y cubed means I have 3y, so I just put y times y times y. And then I'm done, and that's how you factor a monomial. The next problem, we want to factor 6ab. Well, I'm going to take the number 6, make a factor tree. It is 2 times 3. Those are both prime. I'm done. And all I do is I write down the letters. There's just one of each, and then that's my answer. Now what I'd like you to do is to try the next 3 problems on the page and see if you could write the prime factorization of the next 3 monomials. Hit pause and then hit play when you are all ready with those 3 problems. Alright, let's see how you did. Here's the answer to the first one. You can hit pause and take as much time as you need to see how it was worked. Here's the answer to the next one. Notice 3 is a prime number, so you can't do anything with that. I just expanded the variables. And finally, the next one, 36s to the 4th t is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 4 s's times the t. Now, if you would please, start on page 21 in your packet.